What's up, football fans? Welcome back to another video. Based on the title and the thumbnail, you could already see what we're doing. Today we're going to put all the oldest NFL players on one team and see how many games they could win. So, for context, the Washington Commanders have the oldest 53-man roster in NFL with an average age of 28.1. So stop calling the Pittsburgh Steelers the retirement home, because we're only the second oldest team in the NFL, not the oldest team in the NFL. So here are the Washington Old Boys: 87 overall, 91 offense, 83 defense. Their top five is Henry, Kelsey, DeMario, Lane Johnson, and Trent Williams. Yeah, negative $19 million in cap. So there's some old players that I didn't get because of cap. Try to get the top one active, and if they're the highest one was a free agent, I'm going out and getting the free agent as well. So every time I do these videos, I always wonder, should I create my own coach or go with a real life NFL coach? Because if you go with your own coach, it's not going to have any badges or anything. So the team's not going to be able to succeed at max potential. So we will go with real life NFL coach. All right, so here is our squad. Obviously, our quarterback is Aaron Rodgers, and we have Joe Flacco at the ripe old age of 41. And why does it not tell me his age? Let's go to NFL rosters. All right, so 41 and 40, and even our backup is 39. Running backs: Derrick Henry is the oldest active running back behind Raheem Mostert. Don't have a fullback. Wide receiver room: DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, and Robert Woods. These guys won't get play time. Tight end: Kelsey, Mercedes Lewis at 41. What should we call it on this roster? Zach Ertz. Left tackles: one of the greatest left tackles of all time, Trent Williams at 37. Joe Patino at 33. James Carpenter, who was a free agent, at 36. Graham Glasgow and David Andrews, 33. Greg Van Roten at 35. Lane Johnson at 35. David Questenberry at 35. Cameron Jordan at 36. Von Miller at 36. Calais Campbell at 39. Bobby Wagner, get out of here, cat, at 35. DeMario Davis at 36. Darius Slay, Stephon Gilmore, Darius Williams, Xavier Howard, all at 30 plus. Harrison Smith at 36. Oh, I gotta go get a strong safety. Matt Prater at 41, Thomas Morstead at 39, and John Weeks at 39. Okay, so explain this to me. I turned salary cap off. Why do I still have cap room? Is there something that I'm missing? Because if we go here, franchise settings, league settings, salary cap off. Oh. Maybe I'm just dumb. So just to make sure you understand, quarterback, we have the oldest. Running back, we have the oldest. Fullback is irrelevant. Wide receiver, tight end, left tackle, left guard, center. When you do it on the creation, Greg Van Roten is first. Right tackle, left edge, right edge, defensive tackle. Oh, we gotta get us a Sam. We don't have the oldest Sam. Mike. Cornerbacks, free safety, he's hurt, so strong safety, kicker, punter, long snapper. So, yeah, let's see how many games they can win. So at the mid-season point, they are 3-4. Let's see who they lost to. They lost to the Giants by a gazillion. They beat the Packers, the Raiders, barely lost to the Falcons, and barely lost to the Chargers. Back-to-back game, 1-point losses. beat the Bears, and lost by 10 to the Cowboys. Let's see some of these stats. Rodgers has got 1,700 yards, 11 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He's been sacked 19 times. 71% completion rating. Henry 409, motion 132. Henry's got 6 touchdowns. Rodgers has got 27 yards. Hopkins 23. Ertz 3. Cooper Kupp I went and picked up. He's an older guy. 465 touchdowns. Hopkins 330 a touchdown. Kelsey 329 a touchdown. Henry 316 3 touchdowns. Allen 200. Mostert 45 a touchdown. Ertz 19. All the sacks are going to Greg Van Roten and Graham Glasgow. Defense solo tackle leader is Bobby Wagner. Total tackle leader is still Bobby Wagner. Tackles for a loss is Bobby Wagner. Sack leader is Von Miller at 5.5. 2.5 from him. Half a sack and a half from Cameron Jordan and Eddie Goldman. Clay Scam's got 1. Damari Davis has 1. Interceptions. Wagner's got 1. Poyer's got 1. Gilmore's got 1. Forced fumbles, none. Fumble recoveries, none. I got some deflections. Block kicks, 1 from him. Safeties, none. Defensive touchdowns, none. All right, so that's the halfway point. Here are our top performers. Joe Burrow, Bijan, Puka Nacua. Don't want to butcher that guy's name. Brown and Franklin. Look at the NFL standings. Chiefs are 6-1. Rams are 6-1. 5-2 for the Chargers, Bengals, Eagles. 4-2 for the Bills, Falcons, Vikings, Packers. 4-3 for the Broncos, Giants, Cowboys, Buccaneers, Panthers. 3-3 for the Ravens and the Steelers. 3-4 for the Titans, Patriots, Dolphins, Saints, Commanders, Raiders, Lions, Cardinals, Seahawks, Niners. 2-4 for the Bears and the Texans. 2-5 for the Jets. 1-6 for the Jaguars, Browns, and the Colts. All right, let's get to see if they make the playoffs. So the retirement home team finishes 7-10. If we go and look at their schedule, their next game was against the Seahawks, which they ended up winning. They beat the Lions. They lost to the Dolphins of all teams. They beat the Broncos. They beat the Vikings. They lost to the Vikings. They beat the Giants, lost to the Eagles, lost to the Cowboys, then lost to the Eagles again. Kind of sucks they ended up in the division of the NFC North when you have teams like the Cowboys and the Eagles, who you have to play twice, in which they lost both times to both teams. They beat the Giants once and lost to the Giants once. So if you look at the stats, Aaron, 28-16, 4,100 yards, 46 sacks is abysmal. King Henry finished with 1,200 yards, 17 touchdowns. His longest was 70 yards. Mostert, 263, 3 touchdowns. Rodgers, 106. Hopkins, 36. Keenan Allen, 4. Receiving leader was Cooper Kupp with 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. His longest was 76. Hopkins, 759, 6 touchdowns. Allen, 682, 2 touchdowns. Kelsey, 636, 1 touchdown. Henry, 555, 4 touchdowns. Thielen, 353, 2 touchdowns. Mostert, 55, a touchdown. Mercedes Lewis, 24 and a touchdown. Solo tackle leader was Bobby Wagner. Tackle for a loss was Von Miller. Sack leader was Von Miller. Cam Jordan got 6. Calais Campbell got 5. Interception leader was Stephon Gilmore, then Jordan Poyer, then Darius Williams. 1 from Wagner, 1 from Milano, 1 from Harrison Smith. Deflections was Darius Slay. Forced fumbles was Bobby Wagner had 1. Milano, Gilmore, Von Miller, Jordan, and Percy Butler. Forced fumbles. Fumble recoveries, 2 from Milano, 2 from Wise, 2 from Butler. Block kicked, 1 from Butler, 1 from Miller, 1 from Darius Willard. No safeties and no defensive touchdowns. If we look around the league, which is right here. Passing yards goes to Joe Burrow with 5,300. Touchdowns, Josh Allen. Interceptions, Anthony Richardson and Sam Darnold. Completion percentage, Rodgers. Yards per game, Burrow. Rating, Allen. Yards per attempt, Rodgers. Longest, Rodgers. Sacks, Burrow, obviously. Rushing was Josh Jacobs. Touchdowns was King Henry. Yards a game, Jacobs. Fumbles, Achane. Longest was Jacobs. Receiving, Puka Nacua. Average, Nacua. Touchdowns, Nacua. Run after catch, Nacua. Yards on average, Jamal Agnew. Longest, King Henry. Who gave up the most sacks? Cameron Fleming. Solo tackles, Cameron Schlesinger. Tackles, Bobby Wagner. Tackles for a loss, Max Crosby. Sacks, Michael Parsons with 19.5. Interceptions, Demondre Lenore. Interception yards, him again. Interception average, AJ Terrell. Interception long, AJ Terrell. Deflections, Blake Cashman. Forced fumbles, Pete Werner. Fumbles recovered, Xavier McKinney. Wait, is he the only one? Fumbles recovered. We got a lot of fumbles recovered from a lot of guys. All those guys had 4. Fumble yards, 4. Block kicks, all these guys got 1. Safeties, you got 1 from these 4 guys. Defensive touchdowns, all these guys got a defensive TD. Field goals made from 50, Brandon McManus. Field goals made from 49, Brandon McManus. Field goals made from 39, Jake Elliott. Field goals made from 29, Matt Prater. Extra points blocked, Younghoe Koo, Elliott McManus, Group A, and Fairbairn. Extra point percentage, all these guys were perfect. Dang, kickers were on this year. Field goals blocked was, I don't even know how to say that, Cameron Dicker. Field goal long, the longest was 57 from quite a few kickers. Love seeing Boswell up there. Field goal percentage, Younghoe Koo. Wow. All right. Punting average was Wisnowski. Blocked inside the 20 was Torrey Taylor. Touchbacks, Rigoberto Sanchez. Longest punt, Logan Cook. Kickoff returns for touchdowns, only 1. Punt return touchdowns, none. All right, so let's see who made the playoffs. Obviously, the Commanders didn't make the playoffs because they were bad. We got Ravens-Bengals in an AFC North matchup. Chiefs-Steelers, Texans, Patriots, Niners-Packers, Falcons-Buccaneers, Rams-Eagles, and the Bills and the Vikings with a bye. All right, so the Ravens beat the Bengals. The Steelers lose in the first round, obviously. Patriots beat the Texans. Chiefs beat the Ravens. Bills beat the Texans. Bills beat the Chiefs. And then we have the Eagles beat the Rams. Falcons beat the Buccaneers. Packers beat the Niners. Packers beat the Eagles. Vikings lose to the Falcons. Packers beat the Falcons. And then we have a Bills-Packers Super Bowl, which is definitely possible. Definitely possible. Definitely possible. So we see Josh Allen getting his first Super Bowl and first Super Bowl MVP, beating the Packers 24-21. Mahomes wins MVP, Variable Coach of the Year. Puka Nacua wins Offensive Player of the Year. Michael Parsons wins Defensive Player of the Year. Rookie of the Year goes to Cam Ward. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Aladejo. How many of our guys ended up retiring? Probably more than half. Cooper Kupp, Poyer, Campbell, Josh Johnson, Mercedes Lewis, Rodgers, Morstead, Glasgow, Roten, Demario Davis, Patino, Jordan, Carpenter, Weeks, Williams, Mostert. This is a lot of our players. A lot of our players. But who else throughout the league retired? See, Zach Ertz retired, Jimmy Ward, Ryan Kelly, Javon Hargrave, CJ Ham, Kevin Zeitler, Isaac Seumalo, Dean Lowry, Andres Pete, Amir Abdullah, Zach Ertz, Taysom Hill, always seen our guys. Stafford, Higbee, Havenstein, Morgan Moses, Andy Dalton, Quan Alexander, Khalif Raymond, Nick Folk, Tyrod Taylor, shout out Tyrod, Eric Armstead, Russell Wilson retires, Cameron Fleming, Tyler Ott, Lyle Collins, Leonard Floyd, Kirk Cousins, George Fant, Alexander Madison, Matthew Judon, DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, Khalil Mack. Shout out to the cat. Kelvin Beachum, Eric Kendricks, Preston Smith, Avante David, Mike Evans, Garrett Bowles, Shaquille Barrett, Joe Thuney, Case Keenum, Sterling Shepard, Kareem Jackson, Cordell Patterson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Y'all remember him? Byron Pringle, Arthur Millette. So yeah, that finishes our experiment, seeing how many games the oldest players in the NFL could win. Yeah. If you like the video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Tune in for more Madden Sims. We're going to be start doing more simulator games, throwing in a lot of different things. We just did hit our 1 millionth view earlier in the week. So I want to say thank you to everyone who's watched, liked, subscribed, commented on any video. I appreciate you guys very much so. Thank you for your time. If you're not a part of the community, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for all the weekly drops. I know this week's schedule was off. We will try to get back to our regular schedule program of Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, continue to go forward. Until next time, I've been your host, your favorite neighborhood crabman. Peace.